Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to finally be able to discuss our Nashville market. This is our first Nashville presentation. It's a pleasure to have Chris Childs on with me tonight. Chris is one of our boots in the ground agents out there and has a tremendous amount of knowledge and expertise. But more or less, we will hear from him later. Just super excited to finally grow into this market, and we got a tremendous amount of information for you folks. So let's get started. So my name is Evan Balsis. I am a realtor. I'm also an advisor here with Marshall Reddick. I assist with a lot of our acquisitions and flips here. I've had the privilege to assist over 100 million plus in transactions within the last 5-6 years of my career. I also own multiple investment properties out in Tennessee, so I'm excited to share my knowledge that I have out there. I'm currently up to 8 doors currently, and own everything from 1 unit to about 4 units. I also have a background in real estate financial modeling, and weirdly have a obsession to underwrite deals. So for those of you who are getting your feet wet, I'd love to take the time to show you how we underwrite deals. We'll kind of dive a little bit more in depth with that with Chris. Yeah, let's get started. So for those that are on here tonight and curious what Marshall Reddick is, we are pretty unique in our approach. We have 3 divisions within our company. We operate as a brokerage, so we help clients, buy and sell, whether it be, an investment property or a primary property. But from that, we've realized that a lot of our clientele has no interest in being a landlord. So we offer property management to all our investors, not only in Nashville, but also in our other markets. And lastly, we offer private lending. We have a private lending division for not only our clients who are looking to borrow and looking to acquire rental properties, but also offer investors the opportunity to be the bank and collect interest payments to create a little diversity amongst their portfolio. So our markets, we are currently in 16 different markets. Of those 16, we have boots in the ground with our own team of 5 of them. Those are in Texas, we're in San Antonio and Austin. We are in the Clarksville, Tennessee and Nashville area, Cape Coral, Florida, and then also our headquarters out in Newport Beach. But for the purpose of the webinar, we're only going to be discussing our Nashville market. So I'm sure a lot of the questions you guys have is, how do we choose markets? How do we choose where we want to plant an office and ultimately discuss with clients of where to invest? And we've kind of done a lot of the homework for you guys. So we look at a variety of different factors when choosing to where to invest and where to educate clients where to invest, right? So we look at job market, we look at vacancy rates, economic diversities, median income, is the market progressing, rent to price ratios, and then obviously we offer strong education in those markets. And lastly, reliable property management, which is obviously the most important one, right? So our North Tennessee team, we are super excited. In that photo there, you have me on the right, and then our Clarksville team, you got Scott in the middle, which is our property management. But we just got a new office there, and we are super excited to kind of expand into our Nashville market. So we'll kind of cover Clarksville and also Nashville now. So we're excited to take on new individuals to be brought on the team, covering sales, leasing, and private lending. So we have everything under one roof. We're a one-stop shop. And now I'm going to give the floor to Chris. Chris is our boots on the ground agent there in Clarksville and Nashville. He's going to be discussing more about the market there, and I will leave it for Chris now.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Evan. Hello, everybody. Really appreciate everyone who's taken time out of your schedule to join us this evening. But we are really excited to be opening up this new market here in Nashville. And I'm excited to be doing the first Nashville presentation. So as Evan said, my name's Chris Childs, and I am a local realtor here in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been selling homes in the area for the past 6 years, and I really service most of Middle Tennessee. So that takes me south all the way down to Franklin, and then north all the way out towards Clarksville, and really everywhere in between. But I really, I believe in doing whatever it takes to help my clients find a great property. So a big part of that is reaching out to my established network of other agents in the area, to find exactly what my clients are looking for. So this is a picture of my family. This is my beautiful wife, Katie, here standing beside me. My two amazing boys, Blaze and Charlie. They say Blaze looks just like me. Charlie is like Katie. I'd say that's pretty accurate. This is actually a photo of us out in Colorado. Both of my boys are growing up fast. Blaze is 11 and Charlie's 7. And if you see the picture beside us, we are welcoming our third boy who will be joining us in December. So we're super excited about that. I also included a picture of this map so you can kind of see where I live. So we live in a small town called Pleasant View. It is right off of Interstate 24. And it is right between, almost directly between actually, the Clarksville and Nashville market. So it's very easy for me to service both markets, just depending on the properties and what I'm looking for that particular client. All right, so this is a map of the whole Nashville area, Middle Tennessee rather, and the area is made up of a 10-county region. If you drive around the area, you'll see that there's a wide range of different industries, state parks, entertainment venues, and there's really a unique mix of residential properties just depending on where you are. The landscape does change quite a bit around the Middle Tennessee area. If we focus right in the center of the map, where you see Nashville, which is located inside Davidson County, you'll see the Cumberland River flows right through downtown Nashville. And the Cumberland River is actually a major route for barges and other river traffic, and it leads all the way back down to the Gulf of Mexico. So we get a lot of traffic there. If you look east of Nashville, we've got two large lakes in our area. Old Hickory Lake is to the north towards Hendersonville, and then we've got Percy Priest Lake down to the south. Hendersonville is a really great area. People love Hendersonville because it offers easy access to the lake. So people who like to fish and boat, or maybe just want a lakefront home, we see a lot of that out there. But it's also still affordable relatively compared to living right in the Nashville area. So Percy Priest Lake, that's south out towards the airport and down towards Smyrna. There's a lot of growth happening that way as well. Really like most parts around Nashville, lots of new businesses and a lot of new construction subdivisions along I-24 going towards Smyrna and Murfreesboro. Directly east of Nashville, you'll see Mount Juliet and Lebanon on the map. These are really affordable and growing towns as well. People love that there's a lot of parks. The schools in those areas tend to have higher scores, and it's just more affordable again than living directly in Nashville. So north of Nashville, if you go down I-24 towards Clarksville, this is where I see a lot of investors focusing. There's several proposed projects that are looking to expand the downtown area of Nashville to the north side. So that again is an area that I work in a lot with investors. South of Nashville, down I-65 towards Brentwood and Franklin, this is really where the most affluent county is. That's in Williamson County. The entry-level home price there is in the 500,000s. To the west, to the east of Nashville, west of Nashville, down I-40 back towards Dixon. As you're leaving that direction, you really start to feel like you're in a more rural area. It's not growing quite at the same pace as other parts of town, but you know, if someone's seeking privacy, seclusion, they like more of a rolling hill type scenery, that would be the direction that I would point people to around there. So that's kind of the highlights of the 10 county region that makes up Middle Tennessee. So in this next slide, you can see that you know, the average price of homes in Nashville has tremendously gone up over the past 5 years, and it's continued to forecast to continue going up in that same trend. All right, so you know, Nashville is ranked as the 4th best real estate market in the United States. That was by WalletHub, but that's really based on a couple different factors. It's based on the strength of the local economy, the growth in property values, and you know, the home sale activity as well. But the booming market here, I would say it's largely contributed to people moving here for our thriving job market. So, you know, the population of Nashville has just continued to grow. There's 5 counties around Nashville that actually are expected to continue to grow by more than 50% for the next 20 years. So there's a lot of projections for the area, and does not look like the growth is slowing down. The city of Nashville itself is home to about 700,000 people now. But if you look at that whole 10 county region from the map, there is almost 2 million people rather living in that greater Nashville area. Right now, the median age for Nashville is about 34 years. And the median household income for our area is about $70,262. The home ownership rate for Nashville is pretty high. A lot of people who move to our area do end up staying. So right now that's at about 59%. The average home sale price for the whole area is about $357,000. And our unemployment rate, as you can see, it's remained pretty low. Right now it's at about 4.7% as of this year. So here's a few key facts about Nashville. You know, home values in Nashville, this one I thought was very impressive, but it's increased just 14% in just the past year. So that's a pretty big increase, but we've seen similar year-over-year increases really for the past 5 years around the area. The median sale price of a home that's in Nashville is about $415,000. Rents in Nashville also have continued to go up. We've seen about 11% increase year over year for the past several years. Something else to point out too is that we do have a lot of renter occupied homes as well in the metro area. So about 47% of the homes in the area are renters. Nashville, if you haven't seen it in the news, I mean, it is constantly getting high rankings across different statistics here, but you can see that Nashville was ranked as the #1 metro market for economic strength. It's been ranked the second hottest job market in the country. It was ranked #2 for fastest selling homes. I can tell you as boots on the ground that that is definitely true. A lot of our homes, you know, if you're not putting an offer in the first day, you're probably going to miss out. And we've also been ranked again, I think I mentioned this, but we are the 4th best real estate market in the US. So why are so many people moving to Nashville? I could give you a million reasons. You know, if you've never been to Nashville, you definitely don't know what you're missing. It's really a vibrant city. One thing that I hear a lot of people who come and visit for the first time say is that they immediately notice how friendly people are. You know, so if you visit, don't be surprised if somebody holds the door for you. We definitely have some of that Southern charm. It definitely still exists here in Nashville. You know, a few of the highlights though is that, again, we have a booming local economy. And so that just means a wide range of jobs, a lot of opportunities for people here. Our cost of living is low and there's no personal income tax. That's always going to be an attractive reason to move to a new city. A lot of the people, you know, moving here from California and New York, I mean, they sometimes tell me that they get an instant pay raise just for moving to Tennessee. And the per capita income for Nashville is about 20.5% higher than the whole United States. So a lot of great things happening here in Nashville. You may have heard of Nashville as Music City, but there's a lot more, you know, to love about our city than just music. We're actually home to pro sports teams, including 3 major league teams with the Tennessee Titans. We've got the Nashville Predators Hockey League, and we just actually got our first major league soccer team with the Nashville Soccer Club. And our minor league baseball team, the Nashville Sounds, their stadium, they have a new stadium that was just built a few years ago, but it's a really fun time as well to go out and see a game there at the ball fields. So here's just a few of the many top employers in the area. You know, the Nashville market has just continued to grow with new companies like Amazon, who recently added about 5,000 jobs here in Nashville. If you drive into the downtown area, you'll quickly notice there's construction projects everywhere. There's new high rises being built across the downtown skyline. So the jobs are just booming, construction's booming. Entertainment and sports have started coming back after coronavirus, and you know, it's just really starting to pick back up again. So that was great news. Here's a couple of quick facts actually about our tourism industry. Last year, even through COVID, 12 new hotels opened around Nashville that added over 2,000 rooms, and 84 new restaurants and bars opened around the Nashville area. Also, so far this year, 7 more hotels have already opened, with quite a few more in the works. So, you know, the tourism industry here is definitely booming. You know, the GDP of Nashville, of the metropolitan statistical area, is $138 billion. And some of the biggest industries for our area, they include healthcare, of course, music and entertainment, manufacturing jobs. We've got corporate operations right here. We also got supply chain management right here in Nashville. Some of the bigger companies that are headquartered here include Bridgestone, Dollar General, and HCA. Some of our top employers, that includes Vanderbilt University. So they have their university and also their medical center that's known around the world for their treatments here in Nashville. Of course, again, we got HCA. We've got Trane out in Clarksville that makes air conditioning units. We've got Nissan North America right here. Middle Tennessee State University, actually in Murfreesboro, is a top employer, as well as Amazon, who, as I said, brought almost 5,000 jobs here in the area. If you haven't flown into Nashville International Airport, also known as BNA, it is one of the top 50 airports in the country, and it services about 16 million passengers a year. They've done some recent renovations there, so it's really a nice airport to fly into or out of if you haven't done that. A lot of people probably have heard of Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt University is one of the top 20 national universities here in the United States. It was probably one of the oldest as well, which was founded back in 1873. And it is located very close to the downtown area, right in the heart of Nashville. It was ranked second for colleges with the happiest students. But I want to point out, in addition to Vanderbilt, the Nashville area is actually home to 20 different accredited universities. So we got some 4-year universities, 2-year, there's some tech universities, but some of the others include Tennessee State University, Nashville State College, Middle Tennessee State down in Murfreesboro, Austin P up in Clarksville, and also right here in Nashville, we have Belmont University, which is a prestigious music school. Before I go to the next slide, a couple other things I just want to point out about Nashville. In addition to all of the tourism and things that we have to do right in town, we also have a huge park system. There are several state parks that are very close to Nashville that offer all kinds of recreational activities such as fishing, canoeing, walking trails, biking trails. So there's a lot to do within 30 minutes of almost any direction around Nashville. We've got some great museums. And then, of course, if you haven't heard or you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend trying some Nashville hot chicken while you're in town. Nashville's also been ranked as one of the top cities for young professionals because of the diversity. We do have a lot of diversity here in town, and we have a vibrant nightlife in our downtown area. You can find live music almost 7 days a week, probably downtown. A lot of people do ask me about the climate here in Nashville. We do have hot and humid summers, but generally our weather's pretty mild. There's a saying here that if you don't like the weather, just stick around because it'll change tomorrow. So that is true. Our weather tends to change pretty quickly. So I just want to point out here, this is a vision for some things that are to come. I think that it's important for anyone that's looking to invest in a city to kind of see what the vision is for the future. So these are a few proposed projects that are probably spanning about a 5 to 10 year development period. But you can see in the first picture here that the area where these developments are focusing on is the north side of the Cumberland River, the north side of the existing downtown area of Nashville. So that is an area that I see a lot of investors looking in. And again, I pointed out earlier when we were looking at the map, but I-24 between Nashville and Clarksville is, you almost can't go wrong finding a great property in those areas. But the second picture shows a representation of what some developers would like to see. They would like to create a second downtown area. It does feel a little congested with just all the growth and traffic moving here to Nashville. So doing this would really help to expand, what's available. And also they would like to put in some new bridges just to, just help with the traffic and also to connect the existing downtown area to the new downtown that's proposed. This is, again, is something else that's in the works, but there is a new theme park that's proposed for Nashville. It's been branded as Storyville Gardens. The idea is combining stories and music and legends from different countries around the world and bringing that together into a theme park experience. Again, that would be, from what I've heard and what I've seen in planning, that would also be directed toward that north side of Nashville. And then finally, you see another proposed project here called River Park on the Cumberland. Now that is a proposed 40-acre development that would really help to create a more vibrant riverfront community. We don't have that right now. Again, the Cumberland River flows right through downtown, but there's not a lot of public access at the moment. But this is a vision to create sort of a mixed use development project, and then give people more access to the Cumberland River. All right, Evan, back to you.
Yeah, thank you for going over that information. I didn't realize that there's a lot of development stuff in the pieces that's going on in Nashville to come. But for those that want to take advantage of our free market data packet, we've created a whole data packet discussing the unemployment trend and appreciation trend. So for those that are more intrigued and wanting to learn more of what's going on in the Nashville market, feel free to hop on to Marshall Reddick and just click on the Nashville market, and it's a free data packet. So definitely take advantage of that. But moving on, let's yeah. So moving on, I wanted to kind of discuss a little bit about our Nashville historic appreciation trend. Like Chris was saying previously, that in the last 5 years, we've seen a tremendous amount of growth. So for every property that is on our website, we've truly done the homework for you to help decide where this property falls on our appreciation trend. Furthermore, every property has a property rating scale ranging from luxury to A, B, down to D. So for those of you that are new and don't know what a property rating scale means, feel free to email me after the webinar, and I can send you an ebook further discussing the property asset classes and why it's important to invest maybe in an A-class property versus a D-class. Typically for your D-class properties, those are areas, probably a rougher area, probably experience high crime areas. You'll experience very high turnover, very low quality tenants and high maintenance percentage. So these properties tend to be very cheap and hardly ever cash flow, and based upon my experience. So moving up the scale to C all the way up to luxury, these properties tend to have more appreciation and come with better quality tenants, less vacancies, and obviously less maintenance costs. So all those, why you're probably asking, why is that important to know what asset class you're investing in? Well, this all affects the bottom line, and the bottom line is obviously your cash flow. But more importantly, when you invest, you want to make sure that property is obviously appreciating. So knowing what asset class you're looking to strive for My favorite is kind of finding that sweet spot between an A and a B. But every investor should definitely be well aware of what asset class you're looking to invest in. So, like I said, we've done the homework for you. Every property that's listed on our website has a category of where that property falls in. So, if you have questions about that, feel free to reach out to Chris and I, and we can kind of walk you through of how we calculate that. So I mentioned, properties on our website, and for the purpose of this webinar, we handpicked a couple income properties for Marshall Reddick investors. So these properties are not listed by us. Some of them are, some of them are not. Some of them we own. Some of them are just on the market, and they are fresh, new, only been listed as of probably the last couple hours. So they are changing obviously by the day. But I'm going to let Chris kind of take it from here, and he's going to walk through a analysis of each property. So Chris, I'll let you take it from here.
Perfect. So as Evan said, these properties are hand selected actually just really in the past 24 hours. These are new listings. So I'm going to go through those and we'll just talk through the numbers and locations and help you get a better idea of the type of properties that we can help you find. I would be acting, just so you know, as your buyer's agent. And we do vet these properties out heavily. We make sure they are fitting the Marshall Reddick rating criteria. So before I jump right into this first property, I also want to point out, I'm asked a lot of times that what type of properties are we seeing in the area? For the most part here in Middle Tennessee, most of the properties that we're looking at are going to be single family homes. There's not a lot of multifamily options in our area. Of course, if we come across those, we would definitely want to get you in front of them. But just to prepare you for our market, we are primarily looking at single family homes. And our market's still hot, as I mentioned. So sometimes properties are still seeing multiple offers. They sometimes are selling over the asking price. So just want to kind of give you that heads up so that you're prepared for what we have here in the Nashville market. So the first one here on 1220 Bending Creek Drive, it's located in Nashville proper. It's actually just a little bit south of the downtown area. It's about 15 minutes outside of Nashville, but this is a A-class property on our rating scale. The home was built in 2003. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath home, just over 2,000 square feet. It's listed currently for $350,000, and I pulled the comps from the exact area, looking at similar size homes for rents over the past 3 months. And this type of property can rent for around $2,100 right now. So if you look at the monthly income after fixed expenses for a property like this, you could expect to get around $400 in monthly income. All right, the next home is one that's located in Mount Juliet, 773 Curd Road. If you recall from the map, Mount Juliet is located to the east of Nashville. And one of the big draws, again, for that area, a lot of families are moving out that way for schools, but this would be a property that is practically rent ready. It's also an A-class property. This one was built in the year 2000. It's a 4-bed, 3 full bath, and just about 1,854 square feet. It's currently listed at $349,900. And again, looking at the similar rented properties in that area, this type of property in Mount Juliet is renting for around $2,000 a month. So after your fixed monthly expenses for this property, again, these are great numbers. We're going to do our best to find you, don't get this one or find you one very similar, but we are still seeing a pretty good amount of monthly income from the properties that we're finding for our clients. So $474 is the projected monthly income for this one. Here's another property that's also located in Nashville. This one's actually located a little bit north of the downtown area, kind of in that hot growth zone that I pointed out to you about where the new developments are slated for. This one actually falls into a B class. It's a little bit smaller and it's a little bit lower than our average price here in Nashville. But this one was built in 2006. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath home, 1,364 square feet. This one is currently listed for $250,000, but looking at the market rents in this neighborhood, this property could rent for $1,600 pretty easily. And the monthly income after your fixed monthly expenses, still pretty good, right at $400 a month for this property. Another thing though to keep in mind is that I pointed out earlier that besides just the about 11% year-over-year increase in rent prices, you're also seeing that appreciation in our market as Nashville and then the whole area just continues to grow. So those are both, investors in our area really are getting the best of both worlds. This next home at 2180 Strawberry Drive, it's located in Hermitage. Hermitage is still right inside of Davidson County, so it's in the metro Nashville area, but it is located on Interstate 40 just outside of Nashville to the east, and it's only about 15 minutes as well to the downtown area. This property is an A-class property. It was built in 1991. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath home, 1,365 square feet, currently listed at $310,000. The gross rents for that neighborhood were about $1,900. Again, we're not making these numbers up. We're pulling them directly from comps in the area to be as accurate as possible with our rent numbers. And after fixed expenses for this home, you would see about $425 in monthly income. And the last home here, I wanted to pull one from our Clarksville market as well, just to show you a little bit of comparison. This one is located in a great neighborhood. It's zoned for schools that have high rankings. So that's one of the reasons why it's priced a little high, even though it is all the way in Clarksville. For the Clarksville market, this house actually does fall into our luxury class. It was built in 2012. It's a 4-bed, 2.5-bath home, 2,390 square feet. It is listed at $340,000, and the gross rents for this home in this neighborhood are around $2,000. So this home, even in an HOA, is going to bring about $394 in monthly income after your fixed expenses. So I hope that gives you a good overview of the type of properties that we're finding here in the Nashville area. All right, back to you again, Evan.
All right, thanks, Chris. Thanks for going over the numbers. As previously stated, I mean, we really take out the hard work and we make it so easy for you guys to look at the numbers. I mean, Chris plugs in the numbers and looks at the property taxes. We get insurance quotes, and really want to just make it super seamless for you guys. And that kind of falls into our property management. We have a simple fee structure in the business, and as stated above, Marshall Reddick was obviously created by landlords for that purpose. Years ago, we're all investors here at Marshall Reddick, so we understand the importance of property preservation and upkeep. And we've all had a terrible experience with some other property management companies. So we've kind of taken what we like, what we dislike, and we kind of created our own fitting model that has worked wonders for us and our clients. So our fee structure is pretty simple. For a single family home, we charge 8%, and anything right around the 2 to 4 units is going to be 7%. We do charge a leasing fee that is a 1-month fee for recurring the tenant, which is 50%, and that's pretty much all the fees that we necessarily charge. Other competitors are charging a maintenance coordination fee. Sometimes varies anywhere between 10 to 20%. So what that means is that if you have a repair item, such as, let's say, an AC unit that needs to be replaced, they're going to tack on anywhere between a 10 to 20% fee on that. And what I've noticed in the past, and just my own experience with dealing with other property management companies, is that I felt like every month they were just billing me with these bills. So we want to just try to make it super seamless for you guys, and that's why I think it's important for us to note that we really try to strive you guys to focus on good neighborhoods and just super seamless and easy for you guys to ultimately build up your portfolio. Because when you're making money, we're all making money. Everyone's making money. So we want to make sure that you guys have a good experience with using us and following on us for feedback and opinions, and utilizing Chris on the market data. And so, like I said, we're a one-stop shop, and you can kind of rest assured that we're going to point you in the right direction, because ultimately we're gonna be managing that property. So when Chris finds you a property, it's already going to be approved through our property management for us to manage. So we get folks all the time that come to us that have bought properties years ago, but it's not in a good area where we don't necessarily want to manage, because we want to set the expectation up front with you. This is going to be a headache property. We don't want to set the foot that it's on us, but that's a whole nother story within itself. But moving on more about our property management company, we go through a series of at least 5 different background checks on procuring a tenant. So we go through income verification, employment verification. We really want to make sure that we're getting a good tenant in there that is going to take care of the property, because that's obviously the most important. We get a good tenant, you're making money, and you're happy. So that is truly what we care about. So we want to make sure that the tenant is at least getting at least 2.5 times the monthly rent. So people ask us, what's our default rate? I think we have 3 vacancies out of 5 different markets we're in right now. So that kind of speaks volume on our property management side. So that's kind of our property management. You guys have any questions about that? Feel free to either contact us after the webinar, and we'll go through it more in depth with you. So what can you expect from a consultation with an advisor? So I mentioned being an advisor here with Marshall Reddick. For those who are joining us for the first time, you may be thinking, what does this mean to me? Why is this important? And well, as an advisor, I work with clients to help understand what your goals are for real estate investing, and help put together a roadmap so that we can get from the goal to the accomplishment and continue to help grow your portfolio. So there's a lot of things that go into that, such as who, what, where, why, and how. So we'll put a plan in motion, connect with you a lender, and ultimately get you connected with Chris, who will write the offer, get you that property, and connect you with our property management team to make sure that everything operates like a well-oiled machine. So everybody has a different goal, everybody has a different roadmap, and that is why an investor is a crucial first step to really get started with us. So if you guys have any interest in getting started, my information is below. You guys could call, text me, email me, and we could schedule some one-on-one calls together and figure out what your investment goals are. So that leaves us with our first Nashville presentation. I hope you guys got a magnitude of information. And again, if you guys have any questions about the area, feel free to call Chris and I, and we can go through the area, or if you have any properties you guys want to go through together, more than happy to underwrite those with you. We can go through step by step or line item by line item, and we can kind of discuss that together. So I just want to thank you guys. Thank you for hopping on the call. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you again.
Thanks, everybody.